Hi, I'm Jamie Geddes with Authentic Counseling, and I'm so glad that you're here. I wanted to just share some information today on Gary Chapman's 5 love languages. You may be familiar with them. If so, that's great. I still have something for you, and if not, I'm excited to tell you all about them. Let me look at my notes here. So whether this is your first time seeing me or we've met before, again, I have stuff that I'm excited about sharing with you today. I will make it pretty quick. So we are going to be talking about the 5 love languages. I will remind us what those are real quick. So one of the love languages is gifts. There's also quality time. We have words of affirmation, sometimes called words of praise, acts of service, and last but certainly not least, physical touch. So these are the 5 different love languages, and some people will have one love language that's way above the rest, and other individuals will have 2 that are either tied or real closely ranked. And again, it's different for everybody. So that's something that you can keep in mind. One thing that I would like to ask you to do is either to identify or perhaps re-identify your love language, or perhaps love languages. There's a free quiz that I can share with you, or certainly you can just search online, free love languages quiz, and it should be something that you can take pretty quickly. What is the importance behind knowing our own love language? How does this impact us? How does it impact other loved ones in our lives? So knowing your own love language is a great way to be aware of and communicate which language you speak. I always use the example with foreign language. So if I were giving this complete presentation in Spanish and you don't speak Spanish, you might say, gosh, that lady seems nice. She has a smile on her face and she looks really excited, but I don't understand what she's saying. Love languages can be the same way. We tend to want to speak or express our love, care for others in our own language because it's the language we speak, we're most familiar with. The tricky part here is, first of all, identifying what your primary love language or love languages may be. Second of all, communicating that to others and giving them examples of what those love languages look like. I may have to get to that in a future post. And then also being able to speak other people's languages even when they are not, or especially when they are not your primary love language. So that's kind of the importance behind it, and I could go on for days, but I won't. What do I have next? Oh, another important point that I wanted to speak to. When people hear the 5 love languages, they think couples, relationships, and that can be very true. Certainly, one thing that I do want to touch on is the idea that do we have this idea or hope or even expectation that a partner or someone else in our lives will be meeting all of our needs. And I think it's really tempting to feel that way, and sometimes we're even taught to feel that way. A message that I'd like to share with you is to encourage you to begin meeting some of these needs on your own. That idea of empowering yourself and beginning to take care of yourself. If we're coming into any type of relationship needy and completely unfulfilled, it can feel really overwhelming to the other person who's stepping in. Whereas if we come in and we have at least some of our needs met, if not a lot of them, it's a lot more manageable. This other person's to-do list, so to speak, is a lot smaller, and I'm sure that sounds appealing to everyone. So that being said, brings me to my next point. I would like you to begin today with 2 steps. Identifying, I take that back, 3 steps. So identify your love language by taking the free quick quiz online. Once you've got that identified, list out 2 to 3 specific ways that love language can be met. For example, if your primary love language is quality time, you might say taking a walk in the park outside without our cell phones, something like that, something really specific, and list 3 examples of what that type of quality time looks like for you. And then this third step that I would challenge you to complete today is to go ahead and fulfill one of those needs, offer one of those gifts, if you will, to yourself today. This is an act of self-love. We can be self-affirming, and again, really just jump into meeting our own needs. That's everything I have for you today on the 5 love languages. If you have questions, or I haven't seen you in a while, or this is our first time meeting and you'd like to come in, please feel free to give me a call or even a text. My number is 530-500-2428. And again, I'm Jamie with Authentic Counseling. Thanks so much.